101.
Welcome. This is Relationships 101 Podcast, your introduction to a healthy,
committed
relationship. I'm your host, Sylvester Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, JasMeka Wilson.
Yes, she is, yeah.
Babe, let's get into it. Not into it. Let's talk about.
Hey.
Listen.
Money.
Okay, money. That's what we talk about. We all like to see our money grow, right?
Definitely.
We big on compound interest. We want to put it in a savings account that offers the highest interest rate. Have you ever tied that into your relationship? Are you compounding in that relationship, or are you just getting a bare minimum 0.25% because you ain't really depositing nothing?
Wow.
Like you got $50 in that account and you wondering why it ain't at 1,000 yet.
Right.
Ma'am, sir, 0.25% on $50 is, I don't know the math off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's like 10 to 25 cents maybe.
So after a year's time, you got like, if you had $100 in there, you got 110 cents after a year's time. That's crazy. So
let's get
that
into it.
Right there is kind of like what we call simple interest. And that's when in a relationship, when you're only giving on occasions. You're only giving holidays, birthdays, and, you know what I'm saying?
Mother's Day, Father's Day,
exactly.
Christmas, Valentine's Day.
Your interests. And let's think about that word interest, right? How much you're actually interested in the relationship, in your person, in the relationship growing. The more you put into that, the more that relationship will grow. We got questions, y'all. Are you married to your best friend?
Are you married to your business partner? If so, head on over to relationships101podcast.com. We'll drop the link down in the description.
Where you can go ahead and pick up a shirt for you and pick up a shirt for her.
Nah, fella, you know the ladies like to shop. You can pick up a shirt for you and pick up a shirt for him.
And both of y'all can rep that grind and that hustle that y'all do every day.
Every day.
So, then there's another thing called compound interest.
That's what we all love. We love to see that money
Exactly.
grow.
Exactly.
Grow.
And that's when you give into it, but then your interest is gonna grow according to the principal and the interest that's already in the bank.
So you're saying, has my birthday coming up, y'all? Let me try to see. So you're saying that when you give to me on my birthday, that's the basic interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
The simple.
Yeah.
Basic. And if you want to compound it, you will start giving like this month. Is that like the compound?
No, actually the compound happens on the other end. That's why it's two.
But that's the interest. Like listen, I'm sorry, y'all. My birthday in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me the basic gift, the simple gift, what you're supposed to do on birthdays,
right,
that's just the simple. It's expected.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to grow it even more,
right,
you can compound it.
Okay.
Compound interest.
Okay.
You can start now.
All right.
In December.
All right.
And then by your birthday, you done put in so much that I don't know.
Okay,
you gonna get a little more.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, how it actually works, though, that was cute. But how it actually works is there's acts of interest, acts of love, right? The acts of love have to be more consistent. Consistent acts of love in a relationship is what makes the compound interest. Mm-hmm. So that's basically I do an act of love, not just on occasion, not just on you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing this consistently. What are some things that I could do to show you that I love you? What are some acts of love, kindness? Love has a lot of
cook for me. Heat up my towel.
It's a lot of. It's a lot of. I mean, and what's crazy is, once I do that, then in return you do that.
Absolutely.
And if we both are returning that interest with interest, then it compounds. It creates a whole nother level of value inside of our relationship because of it.
I hear you,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the people got to be interested in that person.
Oh, definitely.
Are you truly and genuinely interested in that partner that you with? Because I don't think they could do it if they're not interested.
Right.
If I really like you, I'm going to show you that I like you. I'm going to show up. I'm going to answer calls. I'm going to reply. I'm going to give gifts. But if I'm not interested,
You're right.
I'm doing nothing.
And that right there is, without the regular compounding acts, then that's when you get in a relationship and you starting to feel you feeling like it's stagnant. You feeling like you ain't being fulfilled inside this relationship, and you wondering why. It's because the interest is not adding up fast enough. Like, it ain't enough acts of love being done. We recently did something.
We did, and I think we should.
We recently did what we call a love challenge, where we basically we do acts of love towards each other, and we keep score. We keep score because the Bible says that love keeps no record of wrongdoings. And I ain't no Bible scholar or nothing, but that sounds good to me, right? Because if you love me, you ain't trying to be tallying every time I did something wrong or made a mistake. But on the contrary, if love don't tally what's wrong, then love it must be tally what's right then, right? So that's what we do. If I love you, I'm gonna keep a score of what you're doing right. I'm gonna keep score of the rights, of the good things. And so as we challenge each other to do acts of love for each other, it's like, see, my girl she real
I'm competitive.
So
I'm like, let me get up and make some eggs for a point.
And what's crazy is, see, what people lose out on, a lot of people that deal in the simple interest, they lose out on it because on gaining value in their relationship, because you thinking it got to be some grand gesture. You thinking it got to be, the big things that you do, the big gifts, the big, just big everything. Everything got to be big. You know what I'm saying? Big trips, big
bags.
You know what I'm saying? And that ain't gotta be, because how often can you do that? That's like you missing a lot of space in between where interest could have been growing. It's like, let's appreciate them little small things. All that count.
And I think when it's small, you can be more consistent.
Definitely.
Like, say if we were only keeping tracks of when you financially did something for me.
Mm-hmm.
Our finances, we'll be like, hey, we on a strict budget, or next month it may be a little more free. But if I'm only keeping track of when you're giving me gifts,
mm-hmm.
I won't see it.
Nah, definitely.
It's other ways that you can do it. And just by doing it small, again, you can be more consistent. Heat up their tea. Heat up their towel. Cook an egg before they make it to work. Like, whatever you can. So I'm competitive in a good way. I'm not compete because the winner can. But when I see that he in the lead, I'm thinking of something I could do. But it just keep us showing each other love and appreciation.
Yeah.
And that we're interested in one another.
And we definitely gonna put a prize on it. We definitely gonna put a prize on it. Yeah. So, what does it look like though? Compound interest. It's when partners are consistently investing time, energy, love and resources into that relationship. For example, you got
I think this work for healthy couples though. You know your girl I like to throw stuff in and take it another way.
What you mean?
You can't compound on a negative account.
But yes, you can.
No.
Only the opposite what happened though.
I was about
Only
to say,
the opposite
if
what
I got
happened
a
though.
negative $5 in my account, the bank ain't giving me nothing.
Exactly. So let me explain that too. So that's the thing about compound interest. It works both ways. And the type of account though that usually works with compound interest is an investment account.
You got to be in agreement.
And you got to be willing to invest in your relationship for that interest to compound. That's what you're doing. You're investing in your relationship when you compound, when you're doing these acts of love. It's because only investment accounts typically have compound interest. Simple interest, that's more so for watch this. What kind of account that's more so for? For loans. Meaning debt. So your mortgage, they're not gonna put compound interest on that. You understand what I'm saying? It's a debt. And so when you are dealing in single interest, doing acts of kindness and acts of love in your relationship every so often and only on occasion, you're liable to be in debt because it's not adding up fast enough, right? And you're treating your relationship as if it's a debt, is what you're doing. Now, on the other side of that, compound interest in the negative also works that way too.
Now, they could build it up though, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just saying, let's first say our episode that we're talking about today saying, hey, show your partner that you're interested. Do these small outings, take them out, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's great if we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But if we ain't good and we in a negative, we gotta start, like you say, yeah, it'll still compound, but negatively. No, you can work it up so that you
out of the negative.
Yeah, you gotta work it up out of the negative.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point it out. The approach we're taking right now is if we good.
You're not in the red.
You ain't in the red.
Okay.
We saying do those daily things, have the love challenges. But if they're in the red, they gotta first come up out of that. Whether that's counseling, whether that's communication, like whatever that is, they gotta come out of the red in order for that account to grow.
Yeah, because you gotta have something to invest. That means you ain't got no principal. Mm-hmm. Right? Compound interest is principal plus interest. That means you don't even got no money to put in there for it to even gain interest. So yes, you have to get out of the red and have something to invest before you can invest, before it can compound. So you're right about that. And negative acts, right, inside a relationship will compound in a negative way. They will compound and continue to go into the negative faster. Right? If you're consistent with how negative you are, the negative things that you guys are doing in your relationship, if that's consistent, then you will fly very fast backwards.
So hopefully me and you don't build up our account, compound it largely, and then just feel like we good. So we stop doing, because guess what's going to happen? We're depleting that account. That's like you saved up all this money and you keep going in and making withdrawals, and you're never depositing back into it.
Right.
So I hope at no point do me and you ever feel like we arrived and our account is good. Because who was the richest man? What's his name? Come on now. This
Bezos?
No.
Elon Musk?
They up there too, but they continuously invest. You don't feel like because we're on year 15, we're good. No, we gotta continue to invest, whether that's date night, small gestures, small things, like continue to do it. Don't never feel like your account arrived. I don't care if it's $1 million in there, that million ain't gonna be nothing in the next 5 years. So that's my point of, I pray me and you never make it to a place where we feel like our account has arrived, because it ain't gonna be worth nothing in a couple of years.
Exactly.
So continue to make the deposits.
To build on it. Make the deposits.
Just because we married or you got the ring or she said I do or she said I will marry you but ain't do it yet, that don't mean we good. Like, no, you gotta keep building, like keep working.
True. Real life. Real life, Pat. So, I mean, with compound interest, it can be a very powerful thing. And like you say, if you're investing, you have to keep investing. But when you do that challenge, the great thing about the challenge, the love challenge, is that once you do something for a certain period of time, I forgot what the period of time is, it becomes habit.
21 days.
It becomes a habit, right? So let's challenge ourselves to create a new habit, which is acts of love, right? However that come, you know what I'm saying? However it come. It could be this, it could be that. We ain't got to say exactly what it is, but you know what it is that would make your person smile, that would make them feel good, that would be helpful for them. If not, look up the 5 love languages and you can start from there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different ways that you can show that.
And you can't be selfish. If you're a selfish person, this compound interest in a relationship would not work for you. Because you're not going to give. This is about giving. In order for that account to grow, you had to give something.
Right.
You had to sacrifice something.
Yep.
Whether it was I stopped my $5 lattes, you had to stop something in order for that account to grow. So if you're selfish, I recommend you do some self-evaluation. Like, what's my beliefs around this? Why am I struggling with this? Like, what's up?
What am I willing to give up so that I can be able to give more of those acts of love to my partner? What am I willing to give up? It's gonna be something. It's gonna cost you something.
For some guys, it might be pride. Like, I ain't gotta do all that. Like, she gotta do that.
Okay, and for some women, it might be pride.
It can be, but I'm just
saying.
Talk about men.
I'm saying. You know?
But yeah, it's definitely check in on that selfishness, man.
Yep.
Is it fear of he may leave me, she may leave me? That's a dangerous place to be in a relationship. Like, what's up?
Right.
I don't know. Or is it entitlement? You feel like you ain't got to do nothing because this is your person. It can easily be somebody else's
Getting
person.
complacent, right? So with compound interest, each action builds on the previous one. So it's creating a deeper trust, love, and connection with your partner. Each action builds on the last one. It just builds up and builds up. Like, dang, that's what you gonna do for me?
Yeah, your girl, he had to work on Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna show you.
Let me tell y'all how it got me a point recently.
Ooh.
He had to work on Thanksgiving. I'm like, hey, what time you go to lunch? He's like, 4:30.
Tell him.
I'm like, all right, bet. Pulled up with a Thanksgiving plate on your board. Your girl got a point.
She got.
I got a point.
She got a point.
I left.
She
I didn't
definitely
even
got a
eat
point.
it. I left to go take him a plate.
Yep.
And then I went back to the house and ate. But I got a point that day, y'all.
Definitely got a point.
I gave up something.
Definitely. What you gave up?
I could have ate.
Could have ate.
I was hungry.
She
coulda ate.
slid up on your boy, bought that plate.
I could have ate.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the baby right there. That's the baby.
But yeah, man, our hope is that, because people be like, how are y'all still so happy? Like, how are y'all friends? Like, don't get me wrong, we have our moments in our days where it's like, ooh, babe, give me 10 minutes. Or sometimes it may be give me 2 hours.
Right.
I ain't feeling you right now. But we always find our way back. But really and truly, like, we give to each other. Everything is centered around us. Like,
right.
Not we're centered around everything. It's centered around us. Like,
and then everything starts from you. Like, we done said this plenty of times too. So when you're talking about being in the negative, right, to where I don't even have it to give, that means that I need to be working on me, because the principle starts here. That principle, that the starting money to invest with, that comes out of me. So if I ain't working on me, making sure that I'm not in the red, making sure that I'm not in the negative, patience-wise, making sure that I feel fulfilled and I'm not just dependent on my partner for joy and to feel good about myself. Like, that's self-work. It's always a place for self-work in this. And I feel like that's where the principle comes from, because, I ain't got no money to invest. What you gonna do then? That means you gotta work a little harder, save up some little money, so you'll be able to have something to invest in. To invest with. But if you ain't got nothing, then you can't get in the game, right? Or they say you ain't got no skin in the game, you ain't got nothing to invest with. How do I get something to invest with? It's gonna take for me to work harder, right? Until I find some value, which usually would be money on the business side, but I find value in myself and I feel good about myself. Because if I don't feel good about me, I can't make you feel good about you. I can't give out of that. What am I giving out of?
So we got to communicate that though. Like if I'm tired and I can't physically perform, mentally be there, I need to communicate that to you that I need rest or I need to recover. Because I can assume that you're just being selfish and you sleeping because you're being lazy, but it's really no, this man is tired, but you're not communicating that.
Right.
So you got to make sure you're communicating whatever it is. Like if you work 10-hour shifts and your girl like, hey, it's Saturday, we can go out, but you're really exhausted from that week, just communicate that.
Yeah.
Like, babe, you know I've been working all week. I'm tired. Like, be vulnerable, be open, be honest, be transparent. Like, we're human. We're imperfect. Like, communicate it.
Can't say it enough, man. Gotta do them check-ins, man.
Communicate.
Checking in with your partner is actually one of those acts of love, too. Just checking in. Babe, what we looking like? How you feel about the time we've been spending together lately? How you feel about, you know what I'm saying? The gift, what's up? How you feel about it? How you feel about how I've been given? How you feel about, I need to check in about that so I can see where you at. And in that conversation, you may tell me that, you're going to tell me, of course, what you feel about it, but then you also can relate to me how you're feeling at the time and why that may have not been reciprocated as of yet, right? Been a little tired, so I ain't been able to get to it yet, but I got you on my mind.
He got offended, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I bought some holiday flowers for the house.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
It's for everybody. I was just like, ooh, these flowers look amazing. They red and green. They got a little present on top. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pick up these flowers. So I was like, ooh, babe, I bought some flowers. You bought some flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to buy you some flowers. I'm like, I bought it for the house, like for everybody. So I think that was a moment for him, like, oh, okay, let me make sure.
Because
he ain't buy these flowers, cause I ain't buy no flowers.
Listen, because I'm all right. I've been working all week. You know what I'm saying? Been getting off like too late to really like go by the store. Like it's been a little hectic. Been doing like some OT. Like been grinding. Now that right there, also though, when I think about it, I get points for doing OT.
Oh.
I get points for that.
How many points y'all think you?
Because I'm doing it. Look, I'm doing this for.
How many points?
I'm doing this for you, baby. So I get points for that now.
How many points?
But because I've been grinding hard, y'all, I ain't been able to like do the things that I've been, really like do those little subtle things that I could be doing. Coming home late, you know what I'm saying? Like the schedule just ain't been tying me together with being able to get me some points in. So I'm thinking about my points. I got my points on my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some flowers. And then she come out her mouth talking about how she done bought some flowers. I'm like, Lord, come on now. That's my point.
But it was for the house.
That's my point.
You get a point for OT.
I get an OT point.
You get an OT point.
Put it right on there too.
Let me put it right now for you. Be petty and be like, I was supposed to get a point when we was on Zoom, but not Zoom. Look at me on work. Recording, but you ain't put it.
No, y'all. She ahead of me though because she, she been having more time than me, man. But fellas, we coming up, baby. So
I love it though. I love the love challenge. I encourage anybody in a committed relationship, give it a try. All it is a good deeds tracker. You know how you was in school when you do something, that teacher give you a star or a marble, and then you will see the other kids with all those stars, and you just like, oh, I gotta come up. Like, it's just, like, keep doing it. Like, don't leave them on the last good deed.
So what I can add is just that, Start small.
Small.
You know what I'm saying? Start small, but stay consistent. Identify small daily actions
Text message.
that show your partner
Heart.
love and appreciation. Little small, little daily stuff.
A real.
Because if you make it too big, then that ain't something that you can continue to do. Let's make it very achievable so that it'll be easier to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, our enemy is the lack of consistency. You know what I'm saying? In anything we do.
And procrastination.
But
Feeling like I could give me my flowers next week.
But at the same time too, that was not procrastination. That was.
Dang, I'm just playing.
Don't listen. Don't press no button.
Dang, you got a point. Now I'm a press it.
Don't press no button on here. Listen. So, small gestures. You know what I'm saying? Little rubs on the back. Little, small gestures repeated over time. Repeat it. That's the key word, y'all. Not one time, not repeat it. Let's stay consistent. I don't care if you only got one thing right now that you just keep doing. That's another point. Like, add me up. It ain't gotta be different things. It's the consistency that's giving you the points. Okay? And it's curating a whole a brand new culture within the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because the culture for the relationship is supposed to be love.
Well, what if they never seen that in their homes?
But that's why we start small. You gotta put forth that effort. Do you want it? First of all. And if you do, then you'll be willing to put forth the effort that you didn't see. All right?
So how do they know? It's simple, but how do they know what their partner consider a good gesture? It's communication, of course.
All right.
But I just feel like sometimes people do things and they feel like, but I did this.
But see, that's why
and the couple, like, the partner, like, but I didn't want that, and I don't like that, and I don't eat that, and
right.
I don't like to go there. And so it's like their effort was just unseen because it ain't what I think.
All right. But, I mean, like you said, communication. And
you bought a bag because you feel like she want a bag, but she ain't even a bag lady. Or you took her to a fancy restaurant, but she really don't even like to go out. She just like to sit in the bed and eat. Just small stuff. Like, I feel like communicating to your partner, what do you want? And for women and men, stop looking at outside couples saying, I need that and I want that, just because they're doing that. Financially, y'all probably not in trip season, but y'all might be in Netflix and chill. But his gesture was Netflix and chill, and you feel like because he ain't take you to Jamaica, it don't count.
Right.
Like, Netflix and chill count because financially, you know that man can't take you where you want to go.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know.
Understanding. It's understanding. Like, love. Understanding is a component of love. Like, so if you're not acting and understanding, then you ain't acting in love. Love begets love. So if I do something that you may not feel like is a something that you worthy, then that's, you're gonna understand though. And that's why I like this activity, because this activity is exercise. The point of it is not to do everything you love. The point of it is that we are cultivating a new way of dealing with each other. We're cultivating love inside of this. So even if I didn't give you something that you felt like was, grand, you still gonna accept it and appreciate that, because that's what we're cultivating. How big, no matter how big, how small that gesture is, if I'm appreciating everything you do, then you're gonna appreciate everything I do. And it's gonna change the whole dynamic of the relationship. It's not about, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm learning that as we're doing the exercise, but the point of it is to be consistent with giving. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how can I consistently give if you steady pushing stuff away, talking about what you don't like? Not that one. Wrong one. Try again. It's like, that ain't the point of this. We're supposed to be exercising gratitude and love. The one who's giving is exercising his giving, right? Hence, I got my little Christmas sweater on. I felt like, in a giving mood.
You be looking at me while I be getting dressed.
Giving mood, y'all.
Cause you gonna try to throw on some green cause you saw me with my green. I was not trying to throw on nothing that you got. You saw me with my green top.
Come on.
Oh, big.
Come on. Yeah. So, I was in a festive mood. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was fitting to wear something that was, Christmassy because this is the season.
What if it's one-sided though, babe?
What do you mean?
Like the love challenge worked because both of us are doing it.
And we accepted the challenge.
And we've accepted
That's what it is.
But what if it's just one person that's constantly giving, and the other person is just receiving?
Well, that means there's an imbalance. You know what we call that? Toxic. Yeah, any imbalance is toxic.
Are you toxic? Or you're just a receiver? You don't give?
Right. I mean, toxic is also the person who only gives and doesn't receive. Like, you're toxic too. You add into that whole dynamic of toxic.
You buying them in.
You're enabling toxicity inside of your relationship. So definitely, like, it's both. We both had to accept that challenge and say, okay, I'm with it. That's what we doing. We finna see who can outlove each other. That's what we doing. I'm in. And if you ain't up to that challenge, then you're not gonna agree.
You gotta really like the person to do it. That's like somebody you don't really, you love everybody, but you don't like certain personalities.
Right.
But it's like somebody coming up to me saying, hey, let's do this challenge together. I do this, you do that. And it's like, you don't really like them. So you be like, nah, bro.
I mean, this.
Do y'all really like the person y'all with?
I hope so. I'm gonna say that this still be like, this is for the lovers.
We are for healthy, committed relationships.
I mean, I'm sure you can do it with anybody. If you feel like y'all need to cultivate more love in your relationship, your friend, or whoever, right? But typically we talking about people who are together. They done figure they want to commit to each other, and even if y'all, whatever the dynamic is with y'all relationship, though, I feel like the love challenge works.
Absolutely, and you got to have an open communication, because I could speak to a friendship, one of my friends, and she's a faithful supporter of ours. Like, she watch it or, give critiques or whatever. But I noticed that I was the only one making phone calls for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So I was like, hey, friend, you ain't gonna hear from me again until you call me. And she was like, what? What do you mean? I said, I've been calling you. If I don't call you, I don't hear from you. So I said, until you make that next call, then that's when you'll hear from me. So she was like, oh no, I gotta check this. I've been calling you. She checked, and it was true. I was making all the calls, but it was just a season of busyness for her. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't, I don't want to be your friend, but me bringing that to her attention, like, you ain't gonna hear from me until you call me again. And it's just having those conversations. If you're the only one giving in a relationship, tell that person how you feel, or stop giving and see if that person still committed to you.
And let me say also too that it don't have to be in a disgruntled way, because I know that when that's happening, when there's an imbalance in those dynamic, the person who notices it,
they feeling away.
That's usually the one feeling some type of way, and when they bring it and present it to the person who don't even realize it, it could be disgruntled. It could be, rah, 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 rah. And that could start more trouble than anything. The way that you deliver it. When it could have just been a conversation between friends and coming down to an understanding, it ends up an argument. Right. You know what I'm saying? And now the person is on a defense because you came on attack mode. So let's be careful how we even bring that up as well.
I agree.
Because if it's love there, then nobody don't want to hurt nobody. Right? We both want to understand it. Just bring it to me the right way. Really? Hold on, let me check my call log, because you tripping. Oh, dang, you right. All right, I need to do better. And just as simple as that. We ain't got to be falling out and all of this here. That's only when you come in with all the rah, because you don't realize you've been holding it. Doggone it, I keep on calling. If I gotta call one more time, it's like.
Nah, I just said, friend, you ain't gonna hear from me till you call me again.
You know?
You're like, what? If you don't call me, I'm not calling you back. We just won't talk. Like, you gotta make the next call. But it was funny. We laughed about it. I forgot what I kept saying to her. She was like, oh, you just gonna keep doing it in my face.
Keep on.
But yeah, you gotta be vulnerable in these relationships, man. And I think we gotta be honest with ourselves. How am I mentally, emotionally, physically? Something we just celebrated, because we celebrate the small stuff. It could be anything. We gonna celebrate it, like we gonna find a reason to keep growing. But we just celebrated this past weekend my growth. Like, he was like, cheers to your growth, man. Like, just being a bigger person in some situations that I had to be in the week that passed. Just things that happened. And we celebrated my growth. So
definitely
celebrate y'all growth.
Yeah.
Your growth.
So we talked about starting small, especially if you realize, hey, I've been doing it with the simple interest way, every so often, Why? Because I'm focused on doing it big so much that I'm skipping, I'm missing out on that compound. We talked about starting small. Also, reinvesting in your partner, reinvesting. When your partner feels loved and appreciated, their happiness becomes a reinvestment into the relationship. Creating a positive feedback loop. There's a loop that's created. There's a positive feedback loop that's created. You started when you begin to invest and reinvest into your relationship with these acts of love and appreciation.
Yeah, I just think about I don't know why I'm fine with that. You know how I'd be an angry person on a job and you be like, man, she needs some dick. Like, I don't know.
Hey, that's when it been compounded in the negative.
It's depleted.
It's been compounded in the negative, man.
I'm angry. I'm bitter. I don't want to be here. It's just, yeah, you gave me a gift on my birthday, so what? My mama did too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just bare minimum, but yeah, you gotta like the person to do it. You gotta believe in it. You gotta believe in that relationship. When we reinvest and invest in stocks, we believe that company is gonna grow. When you invest in your relationship, you believe that this what it is. Like, we believe that this what it is.
And you gotta believe in what you're investing in. I'm investing in something that's good, this relationship, this person, and you can't expect overnight growth. No, this is something that I'm investing in because compound interest grows over time. Okay? This ain't an overnight thing. It grows over time.
Because, baby, I think I said it before in another episode. First couple of years of this marriage, my boy ain't give gifts. He ain't understand the math. Math wasn't mathing.
It wasn't.
But life was lifing. Like, flowers, birthday. I mean, he didn't get birthday gifts.
I couldn't get the math right.
He didn't do the simple.
I couldn't get the math right.
But he got it. He got it, y'all.
Yes, man.
I could have left the relationship prematurely, and he probably would have got it with somebody else. But your girl thugged it out and just kept having those conversations like, hey, this is an area that's really bothering me. We got to do something about it. But yeah, it don't happen overnight.
Thanks for sticking in that bag. As you know, I'm a stick in there. Final thought.
Please take these people to a final thought, because it's like lately, the last 5 minutes of the episode, you've been getting a love. I'll be normal. You finna go. What's the final thought? Tell the people the final thought.
Simple interest keeps your relationship alive, but compound interest makes it thrive.
Ooh.
You like that? Yeah. Let's invest daily and watch your love grow exponentially.
Can you cook dinner tonight? I need that daily. And we out.
So look, I don't like. No, let me say something. Pertaining to this love challenge too. Let me tell you a unique thing about it too. It ain't something. It ain't about what the person asks you to do.
Nope.
If you have to ask me to do it, there ain't no point for me.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a point if you had to ask me to do it, and that's also not an opportunity for you to get mad at your partner talking about, I had to ask you to do it.
2 points.
I'm thinking that I had to ask you to. That ain't got nothing to do with it. You had to ask him to do something. You had to ask him to do something. That's what you wanted, right? You asked him and you got it. Okay, cool. But the point only add up when you, right? We talking about interest. When you are interested enough to put your own mind and thought into what to invest in your partner. This act of kindness, this act of love, this act of appreciation. Like, I put that together. To grab them feet and start rubbing it, I thought of that. Ain't nobody asked me, right? So that's why I get a point for it, because I'm conscious of the investment I'm making.
Don't be out here trying to manipulate people. I'll give you a point if you take the dogs out.
It ain't no bargain. We not bargaining with the love challenge.
I'll give you a point if you pick up the kid.
Nah. It ain't your point to give me. You add your own points.
I'll give you a point if you're gonna give me a frappuccino.
Nah. Now if I go do it on my own,
then you get a point.
Bowling.
We out.
Hey. Wanna